So a historic and some would say sad moment in the world of sports. Jamaican track superstar Usain Bolt has had his last solo 100-meter race before retiring. Now, the script said that the king of sprints and the fastest athlete ever just had to win the world championship title for a historic fourth time. But as you saw, Usain Bolt fell short, having to settle for the bronze. A changing of the guard, if you will, has already begun. With that, let's bring in Olympian and CBC sports analyst Anson Henry to talk us through what happened there. So, you know, obviously the world was watching this race. We're watching. It was in London, UK, a Jamaican superstar, but here we are in Canada watching. Did Usain Bolt buckle under the pressure of it all?
You know, it's tough to say. I know he's handled the pressure so well in the past. But things are different when you don't necessarily know what kind of shape you're in, or if you're not, you know, the athlete that you were. And I think that, you know, as you mature as an athlete, you understand the magnitude of what you're doing, and the moment becomes that much heavier. And that may have a lot to do with why he's retiring, because he's feeling some stuff when he's running now. I mean, inside of him, where it's kind of like, this is kind of uncomfortable. And it may have gotten to him today, just because he knows he's not that guy anymore. But
do you think he was haunted by his semifinal where he came second and did not win that?
I do think that got him thinking, because like I said, I wouldn't have thought much of it if I didn't see his face after his semifinal. There was some concern there, some legitimate concern. And he was standing around watching the replays longer than everyone else, and I was kind of like, he's looking a lot deeper into this than usual. So he might have realized, you know, it may not be there, and it might have gotten to him. I mean, he's never been in that position before where he's kind of questioning himself, so it might have got to him in the final.
Well, we've been seeing some live shots. In fact, let's put it up on the screen for our audience at home. This is coming to us from the CBC Road to the Olympics. This is Usain Bolt, a live shot right now. He did not win the final. He came in third, but still he is taking his victory round as people keep applauding him. This has now been going on for some 15 minutes. But as we look at Usain Bolt here, Anson, I want to also bring back the race. Let's play the race for Anson and our audience at home. I want you to walk us through the 100-meter, the final that we just saw. Here we go. Walk us through when things start to occur to you.
Reaction right off the jump. So immediately he's questioning himself. Race plan goes out the window. You see Coleman in his in the middle phase acceleration pulling away. And once Coleman pulls away in his acceleration, that's when you realize, okay, I already had a bad start. I'm already out of my phases. I got to catch up. He was looking over 60 meters at Coleman and trying to catch up. And you can't run like that. He's already tight in that way. And then Coleman knows Bolt's coming, and he's tightening up because he knows Bolt's coming. So they're tightening up each other's races. Gatlin's on the outside of the track, not involved in any of that, running his own race, going through his phases, completing every single phase to the best of his ability, and it's way smoother than everyone else. And he's able to come through and get the victory. And I mean, that's the 100. You never know how it's going to turn out. As you can see, Bolt's way further behind than usual. In his best races, he's at least ahead of everybody by 30 or 40 meters, and he's not even close to that.
And so unpredictable. Again, we were looking at Coleman, and Gatlin comes out from the outside lane to actually take the gold, and this older than Usain Bolt. Now, we have to note a couple of things here. One, Andre de Grasse, the Canadian sprinter, had to withdraw because of a hamstring injury, so he's not in there, although people say he could have competed against Bolt in this race, and you're saying perhaps he might have even won, given what we saw.
I'll tell you this. If Andre's watching this race right now, as much as it's bothering him already that he wasn't able to run, it's bothering him more now, because he knows that he could have ran faster than that. 9.92 to win the World Championships obviously shows that, you know, the field this year wasn't necessarily what it usually is in other years, and it was the perfect opening for him to be the fastest man in the world, clearly. And I don't even feel like he would have just won by a little bit. I really feel like he would have won by a decent amount. And it sucks that you have that. I almost feel like he wished it was faster, and I almost feel like he wished that Bolt still won, because now these guys beat him when he wanted to beat him. So it's going to be tough for him to see this and see the results. And I mean, Canadians too. I mean, they could look at this and really feel like Andre probably would have won this race.
Losing time very quickly, but I have to ask you, so Usain Bolt does not win the fourth championship the way that he wanted to leave this sport, to retire out of the sport on top. He's not going to do that. He comes in at third place. But there's no denying his contribution to the sport, no denying the inspiration he's been to runners around the world. Talk about that.
you know what? You said just a second ago he was taking the victory lap. He could have taken 5 victory laps because what he's done for the sport is immeasurable, and what he has left and will leave is going to be around forever. And this loss does not take away from the legacy that Usain Bolt has left behind. I mean, he's a legend that needs to be respected for all that he's done for the sport.
And perhaps a changing the guard will include Andre de Grasse. We'll have to keep watching. Anson, thank you for that.
No problem.
And that's Olympian and CBC Sports analyst Anson Henry.